Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, I would like to greet Ms. Tresna MSI, our Deputy KPH, and Mr. Hadi Swarno MPD, our Hadif Pendidik, all of our managers, our headmasters and last but not least, our beloved staff and teachers. I'm sorry if I cannot mention one by one. Yes, the objective of this presentation is to improve the quality of questioning. So in this case, I'd like to see two areas that we can concentrate on. First is the engagement. So how we can use a question to engage more students in the classroom. And the second is how we can quality of questioning, how we can use typology and deeper thinking, encouraging learners' questions, and the next steps that we can use in the classroom and also yes. I would like to start our from anonymous, of course, but uh, although this is anonymous, this quote is pretty familiar with all of us, and also the great thinkers use and then the great scientists always use question. Yeah, next. Thank you. For the first part of the presentation, will be given by Miss Yin. Miss Yin, please.
Thank you, Mr. Eddie, for giving us some introduction. Thank you so much for still being here and still excited to following our session today. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Yiyin. People usually call me Miss Yiyin. So I will explain first part of this presentation. Thank you so much, Mr. Eddie, for giving the hand and time for this presentation happened. So in here, I have two kind of picture. We have a statement of Pythagoras theorem. This is the um, formula of Pythagorean theorem. And then the second one is we have a big pictures related real life in Pythagoras theorem or right angle triangle. And then they also provide questions. Have you ever seen an object with right angles? So teachers, please, if you guys can think, which one is better for your starter activity or more engageful activity? The left one or the right one? Please give your opinion on the chat box so I can know what's your opinion about this. Right one. Okay, a lot of teachers in here is already answered the right one. Thank you so much for those of you who already um response and also answer. Okay, the second one. Yes, I agree for all the teachers, but I have to mention one of the teachers in here, maybe Mr. Freddy. Mr. Freddy, could you please to open your microphone?
Hello, Miss
Hi,
Yin.
Mr. Freddy. Okay, so you choose the left one or the right one?
The right one.
Okay, so can you please give me the reason why you choose the right one to have like more engageful starter activity?
Because when the student is visual learning or active,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they more interactive with the right one, with the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the brain or the neuroscience like in the student and
Mm-hmm.
real world connection to make the real world connection. This one.
Oh, okay. Yes, I agree with Mr. Freddy. Thank you so much for giving your really good answer to this. Yeah, everyone. I think in our inquiry-based learning, we learn about how they can learn about big concept or big picture, so they can um getting to know about how the response that they should have. And in here also, we provide the questions. This is one of the example of effective question. So the student should think about this particular area and they have to answer whether they already seen the object with right angle triangles or no. Okay, so at the first, Ms. Epi and Ms. Annie already explained us about active learning, which is the learning process that engage student actively and it's centered by the student as well. So one of the method is inquiry-based learning. Yeah, I agree that a lot of teachers in here maybe already applied for this learning method. So I will emphasize you and encourage you, teachers, to have this kind of learning method because of why this learning method is, we can, at the first, we have plan our lesson plan and also by module aja or in Cambridge or IB, we already have lesson plan. And then what the difference between these two methods, inquiry-based learning and linear learning is, for the inquiry-based learning, this is like the cycle of inquiry. We start with tuning in, provocate the student with image, with animation, text, video, and then we are activating prior knowledge of wonderings. We have to ask the question to the student. We have to highlight the most important thing in active learning, which is we have to make the effective question. And then inquiry-based learning, they are going to serve the question, case or problem. This question will lead you, inquire you, and we have by the end of the process of the lessons, by the end of the pembelajaran, we can conclude, the student can conclude if they can have answer like the first they are asking or the first the teacher's asking, is it the answer is already correct or they have different answer to have conclusion in the end. So what do you think, teachers? Inquiry-based learning is best method, or you just stayed with the linear learning that have fixed content and limited flexibility? Which one the best deal of this? Okay, so to continue to our material in here, I have one question in here. Are you a teacher? We have two fixed answer in here, yes or no. So, in your opinion, is it part of effective questioning or not? Please give your answer or response in the chat box so I can read of your answer, teachers. Is it example of effective question or no? Okay, yes, Mr. Gelar is say yes. Miss Audina say yes. Mr. Bagus say yes. Okay, thank you so much for giving your opinion. So is it an effective question or no? Oh, all of the teacher here say yes, yeah? Okay, I will call out one of the teachers here. Mr. Gelar, maybe. Hi, Mr. Gelar. Okay. Mister, what do you think about this question? Are you categorize this question as effective questioning or no? Okay. Am I make myself clear? Are you categorize this question as a effective question or no?
I think
Before we go to material.
not effective. I think. I so.
Not
I think
effective.
so.
Okay, so Mr. Gelar is already answer that this question, pertanyaan ini adalah bukan pertanyaan efektif. Oke. Apakah all teachers in here setuju? Effective questioning atau bukan? Ineffective, not effective. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Gala, for giving your opinion. So let's see. Along the way on our presentation, berjalannya presentasi, apakah ini adalah effective questioning atau bukan? So to answer the definition of effective questioning, before we go to the effective questioning, I will go with the questioning first. So what is actually questioning is? Question is like the quote before, is the full of knowledge. So we know this is the really important tools atau alat yang penting untuk kita sebelum kita ke active learning. Biasanya ini adalah alat untuk starter activity kita atau mulainya pembelajaran untuk membuat big concept of the student atau mengengage student with the material atau masuknya materi. Okay, so after we already have the principal tools atau the main tools of the learning method, then we can conclude that effective questioning is the ability for the teachers or students to have asking or deliver their asking question in effectively or efficiently to build the deeper thinking and also critical thinking of the student as well. Okay, so this is the right effective questioning. Jadi effective questioning itu adalah kemampuan kita untuk mendeliver question dengan sesimpel mungkin atau yang bisa dimengerti oleh student karena student kita itu berbeda levelnya. Hopefully dengan kita bisa mendiferensiate perbedaan level dari student, kita juga bisa membuat effective questioning yang bisa diterima dengan baik oleh student dari berbagai level. Jadi satu student dengan student yang lain itu berbeda pertanyaannya sesuai dengan kebutuhan dan juga capability masing-masing studentnya. Nah, at the end of the day, hopefully it can build the critical thinking dan juga engage effectively with the topics as well. Okay, so this is the main purpose of questioning, everyone. The first one is we want to help learners to think. So before we go further to the materials, hopefully students itu akan bisa lebih berpikir lebih mendalam tentang konsep tersebut. Kemudian yang kedua, assess progress, whether sejauh mana mereka itu sudah mengerti akan progress belajar mereka. Yang ketiga, adapt teaching. Kita juga bisa memakai beberapa metode yang suitable with the students' capability dan juga move learning on. We know that our lesson itu dari satu ke yang lain itu kan berbeda, tapi di sini teachers pasti kita udah merangkai satu pelajaran di pelajaran lain itu connected atau related. So that's why questioning itu adalah tools yang terbaik untuk menyambungkan atau connected one lesson to another lesson. Okay, next one is, so what is the benefit? What are the benefits of effective questioning? Actually, in the material, we have a lot of benefits by asking question and also effective questioning. The first one is we can develop critical thinking, effective questioning, build skills to make connections, make sense of the world, and tackle new situations. This one is like I already make an example before. Seperti contoh saya yang pertama, slide pertama. Di situ ada contoh aplikasi dari rectangle triangle. Kemudian yang kedua, enables assessment. Assessment di sini nggak hanya cuma paper yang dibagikan ke student, tapi dengan diskusi yang diberikan di tengah pembelajaran, kita juga bisa menggunakan effective questioning ini sebagai assessment kita. Yang ketiga, promotes metacognition. So this questioning makes thinking visible and help learners take control of their own learning process. So it can help like the big concept and also thinking visible. So the student can along with the thinking, they also can see imagination of the concept itself, not only learn by saying with the tulisan atau percakapan, but they also have thinking about the imagine about the concept itself. And then the fourth one is stretch and challenges. Effective questions stretch and challenges the student to ask question when they are given the opportunity. Jadi benefits dari effective questioning ini gak hanya dari teachernya, tapi along the way student juga bisa bertanya kembali tentang konsep ini atau materialnya. Jadi nggak hanya satu arah, tapi dua arah antara student teacher, student student atau student juga bisa langsung tanya ke teachersnya. Okay, and then the next one is research on effective questioning. So the first one is significant impact. Research shows effective questioning has a positive impact on learning and achievement. Of course, if we are get used to use the effective questioning, kalau kita sering menggunakan effective questioning di tengah pembelajaran kita juga akan menstimulate anak-anak untuk lebih kritis dan juga ada positive impact dalam pembelajarannya, juga mendapatkan penghargaan, yaitu bisa memenuhi semua learning objective itu yang paling low, dan juga mereka bisa lebih mendapatkan achievement on another occasion ya. And then the second one is feedback cycle, because questioning is a key part of the knowledge. So questioning at the same time as well is a key part of the feedback cycle. So it providing teachers with valuable insight. Karena kita di sini effective questioning itu nggak hanya teachers yang harus bertanya kepada student, but also student can give the give the feedback to the teachers as well. And then develop oracy. Effective questioning can significantly develop learners' ability to express themselves confidently. As I already said before, it can increase the public speaking of the student if they are asking the question. But not only asking a question, but also they can give the question with the highest thinking order of question or effectively questioning. Okay, so this is the misconception about questioning. Actually, we have like 6 of misconception. Yang pertama adalah maybe semua teachers di sini have ability to asking a question. Jadi banyak teachers itu sudah merasa dirinya itu naturally have kemampuan untuk asking a question. But to make effective questioning, they have a deliberate practice. Mereka itu harus latihan untuk membuat effective questioning, not only natural from the teachers or ability of the teachers as well. Jadi butuh exercise dan butuh practice yang banyak untuk membuat effective questioning. Along experience yang kita dapat, kita juga bisa mendapatkan insight yang banyak dari teachers yang lain atau dari student juga. Terus menjawab dari pertanyaan Mr. Gelar yang tadi saya tanyakan, yang are you a teacher? And then they have only 2 questions there, answers there, yes or no. So closed questions are matter. So closed question is part of the effective questioning as well. So in here, closed question itu valuable for bleeding knowledge, not just open questions. Jadi kalau kita punya at the first itu ada background dari ceritanya, terus after that we have closed questions. So that closed questions also part of effective question. So that's answering of the first slide ya, everyone. And then the second one is learner ask a lot questions. Nah, di sini kalau kita melihat banyak anak-anak itu bertanya, berarti teacher itu gagal apa namanya teaching ya. It's failed to be teaching on that situation. Jadi sebisa mungkin anak itu bertanya itu karena mereka curious with the next concept atau with the big concept that we already taught to them. But if there is a lot of questions, like questionsnya itu like in the very basic, berarti we have to ask to our materials, and also we have to make effective learning as well. And then the next one is not about the speed. Fast-paced questioning is less effective than allowing thinking time. So it's not about the time. Later, Mr. Eddie will explain how the way we can answer the questions about the effective questioning. It's not about the speed, but we have to make the student response and also think first. It's like a 3+. And then the last one is about questioning. Teachers itu nggak harus punya jawabannya, dan jawabannya itu nggak harus semuanya benar. Okay? As a teacher, we are also lifelong learner, long life learner. So, menempatkan diri kita sebagai pembelajar adalah the right decision of a teacher. Jadi, on the classroom, that's the joy of a teacher. So as a teacher, we are encourage the student to fix our word as well, and also they can ask the question as well.
Kan 4 jam.
Okay,
Ya
I
iya,
think
kalau mau
that's
belajar kan
all
kalau mau belajar
for
kan
my
beneran. Tapi kan
presentation. Next will be continued by Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie, are you still there?
Yeah, the next one is about effective questioning strategies. So here we will see what can we do to implement this effective questioning in the classroom. The first of all, we need to create the right climate for questioning. So, establish a safe risk-taking environment where mistakes are valued, and this is quite important. If we see in the class, if we observe in the class, the student who always answer the question are the one who are confident, and the one who still feel shy to the question. They are still not confident about their knowledge, and the reason they are shy because they are afraid that they will make mistakes. So we will have to be clear with the student that in the classroom it's okay to make mistakes, and it's not something. And the second one is type of question that we can have in the classroom. So use a balanced, close and open question to build and extend knowledge. In this case, we should know that there are like Miss Yiyin just mentioned, that we have two type of question. We have closed question and open question. Closed question, usually we use closed question to recall facts and knowledge that we previously thought in the classroom, and usually require a short answer, yes or no, or just the answer based on the facts. Based on the facts. And then open question usually requires more thinking, and can have more than one possible answer. So this is two types of question that we can have, and then the type of question that we can ask can be related to the Bloom's taxonomy that we have there. And it's interesting actually. Miss Appy actually the previous in the previous presentation actually put the question that we can have in every step of thinking in Bloom's taxonomy. So we can also use Miss Appy's presentation to make question in for each of the step of thinking. So here you can see on the right side we have this step of thinking of Bloom's taxonomy, and we can see the common words. The common words that we can use to make the question. So as you can see there, the common words such as describe, and then relate, tell, and find, and those questions relate with the remember step of thinking. Yeah. And then we can have another comments word, for example, compare, explain, and categorize. That's that will trigger the analyze step of thinking. So we can use this uh, uh, comment words in our assessment. For example, in writing, it's possible too. And especially in Cambridge, in IGCS exam, these are the the comment words that the student actually should know in their exam. Yeah, so it's very important that we can introduce them from the very beginning, because they will have that in their tests. Yeah. So so please remember about the Bloom's taxonomy step of thinking. Yeah, from remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and then create. Yeah, and another thing that to say here, when we ask, for example, for questions like what can for example, like let's make one example. Let's say, what are the greenhouse gases, for example? That will trigger the remember part of the Bloom taxonomy. This is very basic question, but it doesn't mean that this is less important. Then the question, let's say, question like, can you design, let's say, design a bridge from these boxes where we can create, for example, a bridge, for example. So it does mean that this question is more important than more important than the one before. So it depends on what we want to ask the student. If we want to ask the student about their about the facts and the basic principle, and then of course we have to use the question, the very basic one. So it's not that the question relate with the creativity is always more important than the rest. Yeah. So yeah, later we will see in the next presentation that we can classify question into several classifications, and then choosing the right question. Yeah, so we need to plan sequences of questions to encourage thinking and assess progress. So it's better when we plan a lesson plan, and before we go to the classroom, after we see what we are going to present in the class, we can plan some questions beforehand, and not only some basic questions to check their understanding for the basic concept, but also maybe we can ask harder or more challenging questions so they could relate with the subject that they have before, or maybe just to trigger their creativity. So in this case, it's important for us to plan the sequences of question. It shows just like what we see in this show, that if we have more questions in the and there is an activity of discussion, that the retention from that learning process will be higher than the one who have a low level of questioning, and the research actually already shows that. And then the last one, we can see we can have a strategy for assessing learning and checking understanding. So this is a few ways that in the beginning I said there are few strategies that we can have where we can engage more students in the classroom, and this is some of the way maybe we can use to to introduce in the classroom to have more engagement. The first one is no hands up or direct question. So instead of asking who can answer this or yes, and then we just offer the question to the classroom, we actually point to the student to answer the question. And the question can be quite varied. Yeah, it can be a question with a long answer or with short answer. But the point is that we want to have more engagement in the classroom. So no hands up. Yeah, but we choose we point to the student. Yeah, and then the next one we can have a zero stakes testing. In this stakes testing, we can provide them with several questions. Yeah, for example, we can provide them, for example, with a Google form, with some question where the result will not have effect on their result in the exam. So this is just for checking for their understanding, and this is a self-evaluation for the student. So the student actually check the answer by themselves, and the teachers can just ask later, could you please check your answer with the answer key, or we can provide them right away with the answer when they answer the Google form. So this is encourage a student to answer the question with their confidence, but without being afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, and then we can have a relay technique, and in this case we just relay the question to the student. So after we explain about a concept, we can ask the student uh, some question or one or two question about the concept that we just explained, and then move on with the other student. So this is pretty much the same with direct questioning. And then is that all? Miss? I cannot see the one at the bottom. Is that Miss Yin? Is that the one? Relay technique is that the one in the bottom? Is there any other technique? See that? No. Is that the last one? Oh, okay. So one more here. Say it again. Say it better. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I have my mouse here, so I cannot see the one at the bottom. So say it again. Say it better. This is to encourage students to refine their answer. So, for example, like let's say if I have a question like, what are the greenhouse gases? For example, in the beginning, she just mentioned about one gas, for example, methane. Yeah, methane, and because there are several greenhouse gases, maybe we can remind them about the rest. For example, methane and hydrogen and carbon monoxide, for example. So at the end, the student will remember again about that, and we will ask them to refine the question. So can you please mention again what are the greenhouse gases? So at the end, the student can mention those three. So this is what we say it better. So say it again, say it better. This can be applied to many questions. For example, like the Pythagorean theorem from Miss Yiyin. What is the Pythagorean theorem? What is the formula? Maybe the student just say a plus b plus c. Okay, that's almost correct, but something missing there. Don't you forget the square, for example. And then, oh yeah, so a square plus b square plus c square. Okay, now can you please say it again? So in that case, they will remember. So this is also to encourage students not to be afraid to make mistakes, because there will be a way of correcting the student. Yes. Next, please. This slide shows the classification of the question, and this is yeah the this is quite interesting actually, because we can classify the question that we have. So it depends on what type of question that we want to ask. Yeah. So we have a review. In this case, it um, includes the recalling, reviewing knowledge and information, procedural, directing the work of the class, the generative, exploring the topic, constructive, building new understanding, and facilitative, promotes the learner's own thinking and understanding. Uh, what is the effective question that we can ask? It depends what we want to what we want to do in the classroom. Do we want to review? Then ask some question about reviewing. And uh, if I can make an example here for reviewing, maybe we can ask just like what I have before. What are the greenhouse gases? That's recalling and retrieving the knowledge that we have before. So simple question can be true and false too. Yeah, that's reviewing. And procedural dealing with the procedure that we can ask the students, for example, uh, in the laboratory. For example, I could ask like, um, how do you measure the density using hydrometer, for example? Yeah, so that's the student later will explain it by giving the procedure that they do. And then, what's the example of generative or exploring the topic? Uh, it because it's generative, so trigger the student to give a new idea. So it could be uh, what are some innovative ways, for example, from that climate change, for example. What are the innovative ways we can do to combat climate change? So that's generative. So the students should get an idea of their own to for this innovation. And then constructive, building new understanding. So, for example, how do you, for example, if they do an experiment in the classroom with one method, and then they have certain measurement during the experiment, you can ask like, how do you improve the, the accuracy of measurement so we can have better results, for example. That's the example of constructive. And facilitative, it just promotes the learner own thinking. So it could be like, uh, what challenges that you think you are facing with this experiment? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So those are the example of the question that we can have, yeah, from this classification. So we have to yeah, by knowing this, we know which part that which part of this classification our question actually classified into. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, Miss Yiyin. Thank you. And this is strategies for deeper thinking. Just like what Miss Yiyin said in the first slide, that uh, effective questioning not only encourages the student to engage in the classroom, but also we would like them to deepen thinking and also extend their learning. And this is there are some strategies that we can practice in the classroom. First, here we have what we call wait time. So when we ask questions to the student, we should give them some time to find to think about the answer. It's here the minimum is 3 seconds, and sometimes we can up to 7 seconds, yeah, or yeah, 7 seconds until they get their answer. But the point is, we should not rush them for the answer. But of course, it's different. We have a game that's different. Yeah. So we allowing them to have to have a wait time to answer, and then the second, think, pair, and share. This is giving time for individual thinking, pair discussion, and whole class sharing. So this is quite can be done in if we want the student to work together with their friends to answer some questions. So we give them questions, and then we ask them to think about the answer in a group, and then we give them some time to answer them, and then after that they will share their answer to the classroom. Yeah. So, for example, like for example, yeah, any questions. For example, uh, what what type of the volcano, for example, that we have in Indonesia, for example. It's just a random question to have. Yeah, but that's the example. So they will think with their group, and then but it is important that each of the member of the group should have time to think, and they will share that. So everybody have their thought, yeah, in the group, and then they will share with the whole class. And then we have another strategy. It's called see, think, and wonder. Here the student will be given an image or an object or an article, for example, or any evidence of an object, for example, and then we would like them to think.
Aku malah nggak ada
Yeah,
suaranya.
and then sorry, you cannot hear my voice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and then we ask 3 questions related to that object. Yeah, and then we encourage them to answer the question. So that's one of the strategy. Okay, and then the next one is a big question. Yeah, question that link to the universal idea and themes and giving them relevance. Yeah, big question can be like what is for example what is culture, and uh, what and then what life is, if it is if we and then yeah, something big question that allow them to do some research, to do some discussion with their friends, and yeah, uh, um, yes, uh, anybody can share about this big question. Maybe I cannot really think. So, for example, do you think there is such a thing called parallel world, for example, or parallel universe? Yeah, that kind of question. Yeah. So these are the strategy that we can use in the classroom. Let me see. Yes. Then, oh yeah, that's the So we have the answer here. Sorry, come on, busy. You should show it. So yeah, we have the sub question there. Yeah. So the maybe yeah, maybe from the big question. Yeah. What does it mean to belong, or what is language? Yeah, something like that. How could we eradicate hunger across the world? Yeah. So these are the strategy that we can apply in the classroom. Yeah. Uh, yeah. One more thing about see, think, and wonder. The question is about those three. Yeah. What do you see? What do you think? And what do you wonder? Yeah. So yeah, it's these are the questions where one possible answer can exist. Yeah. Okay, Miss. Thank you. Next one is how we encourage. So after we have some strategy, after we know the reason why we have to, why we need to have effective question, and definitely from the slide, I think the most obvious uh, what do you call the most obvious uh, wait a second, I lost the word. Summary, I think, yeah, is that we need to have question in the classroom. Definitely, we need to have a question in the classroom. So, and probably as many as we can. Yeah, that's how we engage our student. And it's interesting from the previous presentation from Miss Effie and Miss Henny that when we have active learning, we start active learning when we have discussion. So discussion is the least we're gonna have in the classroom when we want to have active learning. And how do we start discussion? By having questions, of course. So this is can be related to later, but not later now, can be related with the active learning. So we can combine that together, and it's if later we can we are shared with the material will be shared. Maybe it's good to see the presentation from Ms. Appy about the question for each step of thinking in Bloom's taxonomy. So we please check that later. Yes. Okay, and then now is encouraging learners' questions. So how we encourage the student to ask questions. This is the very end of this effective questioning. At the end, the most ideal is that when we have our students start to have questions by themselves. So we can have this, then there will be a dialogic teaching, and we will have discussion in the class, and this is very ideal. And this will be for sure will be an active learning. So the first one is that we should establish a questioning culture, so create an environment where learners feel safe to ask questions, and then teach questioning strategy. So the strategy that we had before in the previous slide, try to implement that in the classroom, and then reflect and improve. Use 10 question approach to analyze and enhance your own questioning skills. And the last one here is how we can improve the quality of our question. So instead of asking simple question, maybe we can start giving them a challenge question. So for example, like this is related with electric cars. So what how could we how to, how would be different if, for example, by using that kind of sentence, how would be different in terms of the environment if we using electric car? And then we this list of questions, we can try to use it to refine, to our questioning to the student. So instead, but of course, this is after we make sure that all the scaffold uh, of learning with all the principle and concept that they should know, they already must know and probably master, so we can have more open questions. So, for example, using why, what are the reasons, what if, what is the purpose, suppose that, what if we know, and so on. So this is pretty much a discussion in the classroom. So, and then, yeah, so I think these are the questions that you can use to to have a more challenging question. Yes, I think. Oh, and then last one. This is also checklist. I think this Appy also have a checklist is here. Yeah. So it is the same thing. We can use. So we can use this to apply effective questioning in our classroom. Yeah. So we can we can do step by step here, yeah, by agreeing the procedure and knowing our learner and plan the questions and give student thinking time and value all contribution. Every question matters, every answer matters, and then use positive language and provide opportunity and so on. So please use this checklist. This is all could be applied in the classroom, and it is useful. So this 3 days, this 5 days of training, of meeting, I think we will get some of the checklists like this with each of the uh, topics that we have, and we can use that from time to time in the classroom. I think that's it for the presentation. Thank you, Ms. Yiyin. So, is there anything else here?
We have one left actually. Okay, so this is the next step.
Yeah. So, the next steps here, we can name reflect on questionings. Yeah. So what is it most or least effective? Why would learners say? Yeah. And then try new strategy, experiment with different techniques to improve your questioning, and then seek feedback, work with colleagues or mentor to get insight on your questioning. Yes, I think we should. I think from time to time we should ask our partner. For example, here in middle school, I have partners from chemistry and biology. I teach physics, so I can ask my partners here to see if there's anything that I can improve. And I think that makes teaching more interesting, and we can adopt any best practice that we can use in the classroom. And I would end the presentation with a quote. Is it a quote this year? Yeah, it's a quote. Yeah, okay. Every every teacher needs to improve, not because they are not good enough, but because they can be even better. So yes, so that's also the idea of having this annual meeting. So maybe all the best practice that we learn for the next 5 days, we can use it for the next academic year. Thank you.